everybody, this is Rob Boss, bringing you a little painting today in the Joy of Finance, episode 111. Today we're going to be painting a nice little picture, something neat called a mutual fund. But I want you to get your canvas, get your stool, get your paintbrush, and get ready to paint a beautiful little picture today. Something fabulous to do this afternoon. Doesn't matter if it's rainy outside where you are or it's sunny. It's always beautiful when I'm painting mutual funds. Take into my color palette today because you want to get this ready onto your palette board. We start off down here. We've got a little bit of this beautiful little ruble red, very pretty. Will go very well when we talk about what kind of securities to buy. Down here, a little Warren Buffett blue. I've seen Warren Buffett before. His face is kind of blue. In the middle in here, got a little Gekko Green. Of course, you have to use your imagination because Bob Ross is on the green screen. So it's vanished right now, but it's a pretty little green. Up top, we've got a color in here. It's Elon Musk Brown. Of course, we need that when we're talking about money. Everyone needs some Elon Musk Brown. And we've got just a delicate little bit of, if you pull your brush stroke down a little bit for the CNBC Yellow. And down here, of course, no Rob Boss paintings will be finished without having a little burnt sienna brown. That does make nice brush strokes in the water, gives a pretty little reflection when we create the mutual fund. Now, as we paint this masterpiece today on our canvas, let's just talk about how a mutual fund works. A lot of people want to know this because they know Rob Boss is rich, and I've sold literally thousands of paintings. So what do you do once you sell those paintings? What can you do with your money? So let's start off at the top. Of course, Rob Boss knows his primary colors, so you've got to mix a little bit of this Russian ruble red along with the little CNBC yellow, creates a happy little orange there. I'm always so excited when I see a happy orange lying on the road. Rob Boss picks it up. They're very tasty oranges. And we're going to paint first here at the top. You. Just paint the investor here. And put a little happy face on you. Of course, investors are always happy until they lose money. But paint a happy little investor. Of course, if you pull the brush stroke down, do you just see how we make a happy investor? A nice touch on there. There we go. Now, you, the investor, have a way that you can invest your money. Because there's only two ways, as Rob Boss knows, you can invest your money. You're either a loaner or you're an owner. Now, you don't want to loan money to somebody who'll break your legs.
Oh, funny how.
But you can loan money. In this case, we're going to talk about what happens when you own money in a mutual fund. So as opposed to buying one stock, just take our brush stroke here, paint a little arrow, and you can see on the side in here, as opposed to buying just one stock like an Amazon or a Coca-Cola, you're going to pool your money with other investors. Some people call this a management company. Now make sure that you check them out, but you're going to pool the money with other investors because if you don't have enough money, then you can only really buy one stock. But by pooling it with other investors, you can do something called diversification. Let's just put that way over here. Here's a little, such a pleasant diversification. Just a touch of the brush stroke, a little reflection of that diversification. Now I'm going to switch over and pick your fund manager. Once you pool that money, you've got to find a fund manager. Of course, everybody loves Warren Buffett Blue, why I chose this today on my beautiful palette. I'm going to paint a little Warren Buffett Blue over here. This is the fund manager. Now, as I paint this, what does the fund manager do? Well, they're the person that actually invests your money day to day. So you can pick stocks or bonds, or you can loan money to the government. You can put money in technology. There it is, just a pretty little international over here. Or I can be investing in emerging markets. What's that fund manager's job? Their job is to watch over your money day after day, hour after hour, and decide what stocks or bonds should be in there. In this case, we're talking about stocks, and figure out what they should select day to day based upon what happens in the market, or what happens in the economy. So they ultimately down here choose, hold on, let me get that. Just use the side of my bristle a little bit there. Just a little touch of the bristle. Feels pleasant when I put that on the canvas. And I'm going to decide what to invest in now. Now, I mentioned we're going to discuss the Russian ruby red here, the ruble. Not the best currency, but it is so bright. Look at how wonderful that shines off the canvas. We're going to paint ourselves the securities. Now you'll see in here that these securities, they can be all kinds of things. If you were going to do technology as an example, we put a little Microsoft, a little bit of Amazon, a little bit of Apple, a little bit of Google, and a little bit of Netflix. Boy, are their costs going up. Rob Boss will have to sell more paintings to be able to afford Netflix in a year or two. Of course, I can't afford Amazon now unless they want my money to buy stuff. But when you invest in those securities, let's just paint a pretty little arrow here. Okay, there it is. It's going to generate you returns. Now remember, as we make this masterpiece, when you invest your money, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose all of your money. Nobody thought that companies would go out of business, but remember years ago, there were very good companies like BlackBerry. Rob Boss still has a BlackBerry in his chest of drawers somewhere. And Nokia and companies like Motorola, but they're not doing as well today. So you can make a lot of money, but you can lose a lot of money. And in my vanishing Gordon Gekko Green, when Gekko cheated the stock market, of course he did vanish anyway, you can make returns. Oh, it's just a happy little green. Feels like the time that you step out on your lawn, just touch your feet to that green. It's that kind of step, and use slight little brush strokes there. Just love using the side of the bristle and creating the rest of the returns here. Now, remember, there are 3 ways you can make money in a mutual fund. One is you earn something called a dividend. And we'll put this up here as we get back to the investor. You can see here, let me just get that little arrow going back to the investor. There we go. Feels so good when I make that last arrow. And you're going to make money in 3 ways. 1, called a dividend. 2, interest. And then one day when you sell a capital gain. Now remember this, Rob Boss's real tip to creating this masterpiece is to not take those dividends and capital gains in cash, but instead, you should take them and reinvest them into the same investments you had before. That's what gets the whole snowball going. So what's the perfect picture? This is why we paint here every week at Rob Boss's studio. It's to teach you about money and finance and create a perfect picture. Today, we painted a mutual fund. We showed you who you are, how you invest, what you're going to invest in, and how you will make money. And if you do it like I did, you too will have a financial masterpiece.